I'm just getting things set over here. All right, can everyone see this? Can everyone hear me? Yes, yes, yes. All right, great, great. So we're going to kick things off again. Thank you for all of you for being early. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is probate equals cash flow and how to get more probate clients. So just to start, my name is Elliot. I am the co-founder of Empirical 360. We're a legal marketing company, and we do a lot of probate advertising. And this is a really cool idea that we really like to share because it really does help a lot of people change their firm because of the cash flow aspects of things. So why do we like it when our clients can take probate clients? So the first thing is they are very fast acting leads. And we'll talk more about this in detail over the presentation, but we really like the speed at which these leads close. There is tons of volume for this out there in the marketplace. So in your local area, there is a lot of volume to be had for people who are looking for help that are going through probate. You also have the ability to upsell these clients into estate plans later on. They've gone through this process. If it was a painful one, chances are they want to avoid it in the future. So you have the ability to monetize these leads a little further. And the next thing is it's a very predictable source of clients. So it sounds bad, but there are a couple of guarantees in life. Number one, you're going to pay taxes. Number two, you're going to die. So eventually somebody's going to have to go through probate. And because of that, there's a lot of predictability with this because people are always going through this process. So again, it's not the most fun thing to talk about, but it is a reality of this practice area. And then the last thing is when people are searching for an estate planning attorney, in some cases, what they're looking for is help with probate. They just understand that you are part of this umbrella of estate planning and that you can help them with their probate. In some cases, they just understand that you handle wills. And because the person's going through probate, they know that they need a will attorney is what they'll actually look for. So I want to warm you guys up with just a few case studies because this is kind of how this whole idea came about. So it's not like we were, we like to think of ourselves as good marketers, but we weren't brilliant and we didn't think of this idea by ourselves. Our clients helped us discover this. And so this is one of our clients. So her name is Mirna. She started as a solo. She now has a team working with her. But what happened was when Mirna was targeting estate planning clients on Google, what would happen is some people would come in looking for probate, kind of like I was talking about. And she would initially turn these people away because she didn't want to do probate. But over time, she realized, okay, I'm starting to throw away money here. I might as well start taking these people on and experiment with this probate thing. And so she doesn't necessarily do litigation, but she does like the administration side of things. So over time, she was taking these people on. She realized that, okay, there's obviously money to be had here. So what she did was she told us to start intentionally targeting probate. And once we did that, she started picking up in volume and she actually hired an attorney specifically for just the probate volume in her practice. So she was able to hire a new attorney just for this. And I believe she's either hired or hiring a third attorney just because of the volume that's available in her area because of this type of targeting. So again, super, super successful. And she actually doubled her firm's revenue through COVID because of this type of advertising and this type of probate targeting, which I'm going to show you guys tonight. This is another really cool one, and I'm done with the case studies, but this kind of shows you the speed at which this can take place because a lot of us are after that cash flow and the speed that it can come in because it helps us grow our business. So that's what it's all about. And so this is Michelle. She, in her first 2 months with us, she spent $2,500 on ads. She was able to get 63 leads. So that's either someone picking up the phone and calling or someone filling out a contact form. 7 of those people closed right off the bat, paying her up front, and 8 of the pending leads out of that 63 that she continued to work, another $11,000 closed from that. So she collected $30,000 in 2 months off of $2,500 in advertising. So that is very, very fast turnaround as far as ROI on a marketing campaign. And she's actually crossing 6 figures and she's been with us for about 6 months. So again, this stuff is really, really fast. And the nice thing is it's predictable and you can really rely on this, which again, I'll talk more about the nuances of that predictability as we go through this presentation. So enough of the case studies. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Oh no, this is one more. Sorry, one more. Reggie, I'll gloss through this really quick. $1,200 in ads, 22 leads, 5 closed clients. He got $9,500 in revenue with $5,000 pending. So that was his first month. No more case studies. I made a promise. So this is a really, really cool topic. And I like to talk about this with estate planning firms because you truly do have a unique practice area. It is not like all of the other practice areas. You can use other types of marketing. You can use pretty much the entire marketing funnel to get clients. And so understanding the marketing funnel really helps you as an estate planning attorney because it helps you select what type of marketing you're going to do. And not only that, it helps you have expectations for the type of marketing that you're doing. And if you go into a marketing campaign with the wrong expectations, sometimes it will fail purely because you didn't have the right expectations in place. And so understanding this marketing funnel is key to your success, especially if you're looking to either do marketing yourself or hire a company. It's really important that you understand this. So I can't harp on that enough. So there are three main phases to the marketing funnel. There is top of funnel marketing, which is known as tofu. There is middle of funnel, and then there is bottom of funnel. And so top of funnel is the awareness stage. And so these are people who are starting to get aware that they have a problem, or they might not even be aware yet. So you're driving awareness at this stage. The middle of the funnel is consideration. So now they know they have a problem and they're starting to consider all the ways that they can solve it. And then the bottom of the funnel is the decision phase. And so these people now know they have a problem and they're starting to hone in on who they want to help them solve that problem. So these are your buyers. At the bottom of the funnel, these are the people who are ready to buy or very close to buying. And so understanding that this journey has to take place for a buyer is very important, because you could target people at each one of these stages with different types of marketing. And so the main way that estate planning attorneys get clients is top of funnel marketing. And typically this is done with seminars, it's done with ebooks, it's done with content, it's done with newsletters. And there's nothing wrong with this type of marketing, but this is typically why it takes a long time to close these leads, is because you are introducing them to a problem. Then they have to consume your resources in order to understand their problem. And then eventually they work their way down this funnel if you stay very diligent in following up with these people with new collateral, follow-up messages, emails, all that stuff. And so the sales cycle takes quite a bit of time when you target people at the top of the funnel. And this is traditionally for your planning type clients. So trusts, wills, that type of thing. Now, at the bottom of the funnel, you are able to target these types of clients. So trusts, wills, and especially probate, which is obviously the topic of this webinar. So at the bottom of the funnel, how you can get these people is you go after the people who are actively searching for estate plans, or people who need help with probate, or referrals are also bottom of funnel type leads, because they're asking someone for help and then they're being referred to you. So those are the main ways that estate planners go after clients. Most of the time it's top of funnel. And most of the time, if the marketing didn't work or it was slow to take place, it's just because the expectation wasn't set. It's not that the marketing is bad. It's just that you are being introduced to the problem. And so just to be completely transparent, this webinar is a type of top of funnel marketing. You are being introduced to the idea of probate. It's not invasive. I'm teaching you guys something, and it's a top of funnel marketing medium. And eventually over time, this idea may take shape and you may start targeting probate people, whether it's with us or somebody else. So how probate moves through the funnel fast. So again, everybody has to go through this process. They have to have awareness, they have to have consideration, and then they have to go through the decision phase and become a buyer. The major driver with probate is urgency. And so because they have to get this problem taken care of, and obviously because it's a very emotional time, there is urgency behind this. So they get into the awareness stage, right to the consideration, right to the decision phase very, very quickly. This process can take a couple of days if they're really movers. So again, most of the time when you're doing estate planning marketing, and I differentiate the two, probate versus estate planning. Probate is, we consider it as like its own little subset. So whenever you're doing like the planning side of things, again, these people are not in a rush. They don't necessarily feel like they need a plan. Now, obviously we know that they do, but again, it may take them time to come around to the idea that, okay, I'm going to pay you, $3,000 to $5,000 or $7,000 for a trust. And so it takes some time to pull the trigger. Whereas probate, they have to get it done and they do it very quickly. So urgency is a huge deal here in moving these people through the funnel. So this brings me to my next point. And again, this is another very powerful concept for you when you're selecting your marketing, and it really, really helps you with the expectation side of things. There are two types of digital marketing. There is interruption-based marketing, and then there is meeting a demand. Now, interruption-based marketing is typically the way estate planning clients or estate planning attorneys distribute their top of funnel marketing. And so this is usually done on Facebook, and Facebook is the best example for this. Facebook, when people are on there, they're not necessarily looking for an estate planning attorney or a probate attorney. They're there to look at family and friends and joke around and mess around on Facebook. They're looking to kill time. And if your advertisement is compelling enough, it will stop them in their tracks and generate some demand. It may be enough demand to take them off of Facebook and register for your webinar or get your ebook about estate planning, but you're hoping to hit them at the right time in the right place with the right message. So you're interrupting them. Again, the big difference here is there's no intent behind them being on Facebook finding you. They don't have any intent yet. Now, the other platform out there, which is Google, and Google is the only platform that has this dynamic. People are coming to you. They're taking the first step in the marketing journey and they're typing in, I need a probate attorney or an estate planning attorney, whatever it is that they're going to use to find you for help with their probate. But the biggest difference here is they are coming to you and you are not going to them. And that dynamic shift is really, really important and huge, which is why Google is still the 800-pound gorilla in the marketplace, because they have this dynamic. It's so common in our language that people say Google it. It's actually like a verb now, because again, people go there for resources and for help. So super powerful. To kind of hit that point home, it's like a billboard on the side of the highway. Now, billboards work. It's a great awareness play. It's building a brand, but you're not going to get a direct response off of it. This is an interruption where someone's driving on the side of the road and they see Better Call Saul. Maybe they call him, maybe they don't, but they'll remember him over time. It's not that immediate response. If you have a leak in your house, though, and you need a plumber right away, first thing you do is you Google plumber near me. And so this is the big difference. Now, the other thing I want to touch on here is, again, like a plumbing leak in your house, which this one obviously looks very severe, there is urgency behind the search with probate. So it's not like a research term. It doesn't take time to close. It's very, very fast. It's almost like a car accident. If you're in a car accident, you Google, car accident attorney, and you get it done relatively quickly. So that's a big advantage. And that's why it provides that cash flow, because the leads come in and they close several days later. It could take a little more time than that, but most of the time it closes very quickly. And so now that you know the different methods of marketing, how do you get probate leads that need your help now? All right. So I've kind of set the stage. You understand your options as far as marketing out there, which again, I can't harp on it enough. If you know those things, it's very powerful and you know exactly how to select your marketing. So if you ever want to talk more about that stuff in detail, we can. So here is what we know. There are thousands of people every single month that need help with probate. And what I'm showing you here, and I'm actually going to do a live walkthrough of this tool at the end, is this is called the Google Keyword Planner. And what this shows you is how many times people search a keyword in your area and what the cost is associated with it. So you can see here, and if you have questions, you can drop them in chat. You can see here that in the United States, obviously this is a huge pool of people, the word probate attorney, that exact word, and the word probate lawyer are searched 14,800 times each. So tons and tons of volume. And then trust administration is a little bit less, it's more specific. And then there's probate litigation, which is more specific, probate litigation lawyer. But you can see that there are a whole bunch of searches related to probate every single month. And that's per month right there. Now, the other thing I want to draw your attention to are the two lines. So the blue line and the red line at the top of the screen. Now, the red line is mobile volume. So people searching on their mobile phone for this stuff. And it's not necessarily how much I want to show you, it's the steadiness of the line. You can see that it's very, very steady all year round. And so this is what gives you that predictable flow of business. Now, if you were to look at another business, like let's say people who sell dresses or sundresses, summertime, this spikes, wintertime, it drops, and you get this jagged line that, there's seasonality involved. With these steady lines, you can count on this volume all year round. So that's the nice thing as far as the predictability of it. You're not going to have much seasonality with this. There may be some during the holidays, but you're not going to have a ton of it. So again, big concepts there. So again, what does this mean for you? As far as the number of searches and the steadiness of the volume, what that equals is predictable lead flow and client acquisition. The other thing is it gives you scalability and the ability to project growth. And again, I'm going to show you a live walkthrough of this tool at the end to show you what I mean by projecting growth and scalability. But pretty much in a nutshell is if you know that there are thousands of people in your area searching for this, you only need a piece of that pie in order to get the amount of leads that you need to actually grow your firm. And from there, if you know that you get 10 leads and 2 of them close every single time, then you have a predictable system now. It's very, very easy to project, okay, if I spend this much money and I get this many leads and I close at this percentage, this is how many clients I get. So that's how you back into all of this. So again, huge deal here for business owners, because I'm a business owner myself. It's a horrible feeling when you don't know where your next client is going to come from, or how can I scale my referrals? You really can't. It's the worst feeling in the world. When you have something like this that's predictable, it's a lot of peace of mind. So this is what it looks like step by step. This is how you actually get the traffic from the consumer side of things. Someone Googles probate attorney near me. They then see a page that looks like this. Now there's 2 types of ads on this page. The top one, The top ones are called local service ads, and these are Google's system that is actually pay per lead. It has its strengths and its weaknesses. The biggest weakness is it's not super scalable unless you have a ton of reviews, and it's also driven by proximity. So the person has to be close to your actual office for these ads to trigger. If they're outside of a certain radius, they don't trigger. And again, reviews play a big part here. So usually the larger firms soak these up and get most of the volume because they have a ton of reviews. So you don't have tons of control as far as location and things like that. So they're harder to scale. The other thing is they are pay per lead. So it's different. So that's a nice thing, is because you have somewhat of a fixed cost. You can increase or decrease that based on volume. Now, the ads below that are your traditional Google ads. And these are the ones that we typically run for our clients. And with these, you have a lot of control. So you can control things like income levels. You can control things like which counties you want to serve in, what hours of the day. You have unlimited control over these ads, which is nice. Now, once you click that ad, or once the client clicks that ad, they are then directed to a landing page that looks like this. Now, landing pages are built specifically for the advertisement that they are tied to. So the page itself is exactly matching that ad, and that's done for a reason. We want to provide a very relevant experience for the end users. So they Googled for a probate attorney near them, and we're going to show them that, hey, we're a probate attorney in Louisiana. So relevance right off the bat. The other thing that I want to draw your attention to with this landing page is there is no navigation at the top of the page. So there's no blog, there's no about us, there's nothing like that, because we do not want the users to get distracted once they get to this page. We want them to take action, and we want them to show that we are relevant to their search term. And so all of those things are being accomplished very quickly on this page. Some of the other aspects of this page is it's mobile responsive. So when you drop this down to a mobile phone, the most important pieces of information are at the top of the page, because mobile, we have very limited real estate. So you can see that we have a phone call button, which is able to be clicked so they can call you immediately. That's an important feature. So make sure that on your website, people can actually click to call. The other thing is the headline is right there, front and center, Louisiana probate attorney. And then we just have a value proposition sentence right there. On desktop, all of the important information is right there. We have Louisiana probate attorney, we have a form, we have a phone number, and we have the value proposition. So things like 15-minute consultation, 20 years of experience, licensed, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. But landing pages are very, very effective. If you were to send somebody to your homepage, most of the time, home pages convert way less than landing pages. And just to give you some context here, every 100 people that visit this page here, usually 20 to 30% of them will turn into a lead. So they either call or fill out the form or chat. On a traditional homepage, which is usually generalized for the firm, especially if you do multiple practice areas, those will usually convert at like 5 to 10%. And so in some cases, you can get 5 times the amount of leads just by sending them to a landing page that's dedicated to the advertisement. So super powerful there. If you have any questions about landing pages, feel free to drop them in chat. So there are 2 reasons. Once you start getting these leads, there are 2 reasons why these leads typically won't close or our clients won't take them on. The first one is most of our clients do not like doing litigation. So if they're not the executor, then our clients won't deal with them, and they'll either just let the lead die or they'll refer it out to another attorney that does do litigation. And that's a great way to build a relationship. Number 2 is they don't have enough money to pay. And so if this comes up, which it's not too often that it does, but if it comes up, what we do is we target individuals with higher net worths and incomes, and it solves most of the financial problems. And so you're probably wondering, how do they know that what their income level is? So Google actually has IRS data appended to their system, so they know most people's incomes. And the other thing that they do is they monitor all of your behaviors online. I believe Google said that they look at 70,000 signals when they do an ad auction, and so they know if you're looking at BMWs and Ferraris and stuff like that online, if you're buying really expensive purses. They take all that into account as your shopping behavior and your online behavior, and they build a profile on you. So they know everything there is to know about you. And so they take this information along with their IRS data, and now they have very accurate income levels. So super accurate data, and it has really improved over the years. Years ago, it wasn't that great. It is really good now. So leads are great, right? We've been talking a lot about leads, but let's break down what it looks like as far as getting clients. So normally what we recommend to people is you'll start with like a budget of $1,000. And this is a very good starting budget to prove the concept as far as like, is this going to work for me or isn't it? And what $1,000 will typically get you, and this is kind of blanket nationwide. Some areas are more expensive, some are cheaper. And so this is just a blend. most of the time, $1,000 will get you roughly 20 leads. So it's about $50 a lead. Now, if you close at 10%, that's 2 new clients. Okay. It's not crazy math here. If you close at 20%, it's 4 new clients. And if you close at 30%, it's 6. And so 2 new clients or 10% is, I would say, the lower end of where people close. And most of the time, our feedback from attorneys, if they're doing like flat rates, it's like $3,500 for a probate. So 2 new clients is $7,000 on $1,000. Super great return on investment. Now, the differences between a 10%, 20%, and 30% closing rate is not that they're master salespeople. Like, I can't harp on this enough. We've done a lot of presentations to our existing clients on this. It's more connection rate than anything. And so people who are going to Google, they are shopping. They're in that bottom of the funnel mode. They need to make a decision, and they're making it now. And so the attorneys who get back to those people, or who are the most accessible to those people as far as when they're working the lead, close the highest. And so it's actually funny. Usually the smaller firms where the attorney answers the phone and is decent on the phone, they close the highest because they're getting to that lead immediately and they're doing the consult right there on the spot. So they're qualifying all the leads faster than anybody. And so some of our clients will close at 20%, 30%. Some of the people at the beginning of this presentation that I showed you were in that 20% range. And again, 20% is very, very healthy. And that's on the raw leads. So that's on all the leads. So whether they're qualified or not qualified, 20 of those leads, they're closing 20%. So 4 clients. And again, $3,500 a piece. You can do the math. It adds up pretty quick. So this is what you can expect from a typical campaign in a month. Now, what'll happen month 2 is leads from the first month will start to close, and you get like a snowball effect. So what else can you do with these leads? So a really, really valuable thing to do, and this is not only these leads, this is all of your leads, is if you do a free consultation, which we do recommend. I have some videos on YouTube where I talk about this, but if you do a free consultation, you are providing value to that client, and whether it's 15 minutes or it's 30 minutes, whatever it is, you're still providing value. And if you can tell that they're having, a valuable conversation or they're having a positive experience, it's a great time to go for a review. And so the value of going for a review off of a consultation rather than a closed client and at the end of the process is you're going to do a lot more consultations than you will close clients. If you close at 20%, that means maybe you talk to 10 people and 2 of them close. So you have the potential of getting 10 reviews versus just 2 if you wait for the clients to actually close. So doing reviews on consultations is really valuable. We actually have a client of ours who did this, and he collected like 40 reviews in the course of 2 months or 2.5 months. And as a result, his firm's appearance. So not only does he look great from a consumer standpoint, but Google recognized that he was getting a bunch of reviews and he started to rank really, really fast. So his firm's volume went through the roof because all of his organic stuff started taking shape. His Google My Business showed more often. He was in the map more often. His organic website listing boosted the ranks. So it has a tremendous impact on your firm if you're collecting reviews. We can't state that enough. Every lead is valuable, whether you work with them or not. You can refer it out, you can get a review, or you can close it. So having that idea in your head when you approach leads is a really, really good mental framework. Now, the other thing is with these leads, you have the ability to upsell these people. So a lot of our clients will actually do like specials. It sounds bad, they're going through probate, but because you're going through this, and if you want, we can take care of you and your wife. If you want to go through this, or if you don't want to go through this, we'll get you into a trust. So a lot of times what you can do with these people after the process, or even in the middle of the process, is they're thinking about this now, and there's a lot of pain associated with it. So you can get them into a plan, and this is monetizing the lead even further. This takes your lifetime value of a client way through the roof because you've already paid to get this client, and now you're just monetizing them further. So an upsell is a huge value when it comes to these leads because you're just bringing more people into your ecosystem. Now, the other thing is most attorneys start on or grow through referrals. And so when you get one referral, that person has some sort of referral potential. Maybe you get 1.25 referrals out of X amount of clients, however it works. But if you're bringing in more clients and they're having positive experiences, you're just going to increase your referral pool that much more. And so over time, you could begin to coast a little bit because you're building up such a wide base of clients. So again, there are many ways to monetize these leads, even if you don't close them. You can get a review. If you do close them, you can upsell them, and you can also get referrals if you provided a valuable experience to them, even on a consult. And so what are your next steps? So first things first, we are a resource. We've done a lot of marketing. We work with over 100 attorneys. So if you have questions about your marketing, and at the end of this presentation is what I mean, you can ask me right here and I'll answer them as best as I can. The other thing you can do is you can book a call with me to find out how this works for your firm. And the last thing we're going to do is we are going to actually go to the keyword planner, and I'm going to show you what the volume looks like in your areas. So if you guys are interested, you can drop your counties in the chat there, and I will look up the volume in your area and show you how much volume you could get. So how many leads a month you can get, what the leads are going to cost, and what that looks like from a closing perspective. So anyone have any counties that they want to drop in there? Los Angeles, huge. And also this is my calendar link if anyone wants to book a call with me. So I'm going to pull up that tool, like I showed you, the keyword planner, and I'll walk you through it. And just FYI, this tool is free to everybody. So once you know how to use it, you can start to run these projections yourself and play with these numbers. So again, what's valuable about this process is we are going to put up numbers that are very, very reliable, and they'll give you an idea of what you can spend and what you can get without spending $1 on ads. So it's really nice and risk-free. So again, this is a keyword planner. So what I do here is I type in keywords like probate attorney, probate lawyer, and also Google will make some recommendations. So you'll see their recommendations. Yep, I'll look up, so far I have Los Angeles, Tarrant County, Wayne County. Again, drop your counties in here if you guys want me to look them up. So first I'll do Los Angeles. And I'll just do the DMA. And so one thing to note here, and this is actually, most people think it's the opposite. The larger the area you're in, the better it is, because there's so many people that we have access to that we can be very picky with who we target, and we're not hurting for volume. So we don't have to pay as much. The leads will actually be cheaper in these larger areas. So if I add these to my plan, probate lawyer, probate attorney, and this is what's going to tell me what this would look like if I was advertising. Give me a second. You know what? I'm going to do this in another account. Just one second. All right, so we're adding these keywords to our plan, and then we're going to go to Los Angeles County. And so what this new view is here is this is what an individual account would look like if you were actually advertising in Google. So we'll do Los Angeles DMA. And now this is going to pull up all kinds of numbers, and I'm just going to adjust some of these. So this number that I'm adjusting here, this is the maximum you're willing to pay per click. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, $20, that's a ton of money. But what that actually is the maximum you're willing to pay. How it works is you only pay 1 penny above the guy behind you. So if the guy behind you is bidding $9, you'll pay $9.01 to be at the top of Google. Now, really what we're concerned about is not the cost per click, it's the cost per lead. And ultimately, what does it actually cost to acquire a client? And so remember how I told you every 100 people that visit that landing page, 20 to 30% of them actually turn into a lead. So what I'm putting here is 25% conversion rate. So now I'm going to walk you through these numbers. Let me get rid of this. So what this is telling me here is in Los Angeles, and again, Los Angeles is huge. You can spend up to $9,500 a month. Now, that's what you can spend. It's not what you have to spend. So if we're spending $1,000 and we're profitable, just know that you can take this all the way up to $10,000 a month without diminishing your returns. So it scales very linearly. So what I was talking about earlier about room to scale, you have a lot of room to scale here. So you can spend up to $9,500 a month. What that's going to get you is 922 clicks. So that's 922 people that will visit your landing page. And if 25% of those people call you or fill out the form, which those are our metrics and those are very reliable metrics, that means you're going to get about 230 leads. And each one of those leads is going to cost you $41 a lead based on your $9,500 in spend divided by your number of leads. So does that make sense? If anyone needs me to walk through that again, I can. But pretty much what you're after here is you can get leads for $41 a lead. So whatever your budget is, you want to divide it by $41, and that's how many leads you'll get. And then you can back into, if I close at 10%, I'll get this many calls, or I'll get this many clients, and I charge this much money and I spent this much. So you can back into all of your metrics before you spend $1 on ads. So if I were to get 10 leads at $41 a lead, I spent $410. Let's say I closed 2 of those leads. That means it cost me $205 to actually get a client. And I make $3,000 on that client. It cost me $200 to generate them, and I make $3,000 to get that client. You could see that the ROI is amazing on that type of campaign. And this happens all the time for our clients. And this is just in the first month. It usually gets better. So that's what you can expect in Los Angeles. You could spend up to $10,000. You get around 230 leads a month if you're spending 10K. Let's look at Tarrant County, Texas. So a little bit smaller of an area here, Fort Worth. So in Tarrant County, you can spend $5,700 a month. That will get you roughly 526 clicks, about 131 leads at $43 a lead. So similar numbers. And again, this is a living, breathing system. So you can actually get a little bit more expensive leads. You get a little bit cheaper. It is living and breathing. So again, don't hold me to exactly $43. It could be $50. It could be $41. That's how it works. The other one is Wayne County, Michigan. Let's take a look there. So Wayne County, it's a pretty big area. Naples, I'll do Naples. Wayne County, you can't spend as much. It's not as competitive though. You can see the lead cost has gone down a little bit, $37 a lead. So for $4,700 a month, 506 clicks, $37 a lead, and 126 leads. Let's take a look at Naples. Not Italy, Naples. Do you have so that's the city. Do you have a county that you would want to run there? It's not that this isn't big enough, but you're just not going to get as much volume. I'll run this and then I'll show you Collier. Okay, so I'll run Naples first. So in Naples, you can see there's not tons and tons of volume for it. $490 a month is what you could spend. This is a conservative tool, so you might be able to stretch that to like $700, and it'll get you roughly 12 leads for $490. If you did Collier County, we're actually in Florida too, so Collier. Did I spell that right? Collier County, there you go, 1.14 million. So that increases it slightly. It's not crazy. So what I would recommend there is if you started with that, you might have to add a little bit more, like if you do estate planning. So if you do like trusts and wills and all that stuff, if you add those keywords in here, you have a pretty solid campaign that can get you, more than enough leads. Again, 14 leads a month is not bad, but you may want more than that. So you might have to branch out to like, I forget what counties are down there. I think Martin County or, whatever else is down there, Sarasota. So those areas. So any other counties or any other questions? So Maricopa. Let me look at that. Maricopa is pretty big. 8 million. Yeah, so in Maricopa, you could spend $2,500 a month, 219 clicks, 55 leads, $45 a lead. So again, scalability there, and this is just 4 keywords. So there are more keyword variations to this. So when people search for like best probate attorney or top probate attorney, all of that is included when you go for the word probate attorney, but it's not calculated in the search volume. So you can get a little bit more traffic than this is showing. But as far as, so you guys kind of understand how the estimates work. Do you have any other questions about landing pages or, advertising in general? Any other questions, drop them in here. Otherwise, if there are no more questions, no more estimates, I can start to round this out, and I will send out a recording so you can always review this. All right, great. It doesn't look like there's any more questions. I see some of you leaving. So I want to thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it. I will be sending out a recording. And if you guys ever have any questions, you can always book a call with me. Visit our website, empirical360.com, and you can book a call with me there if you don't have the link. All right. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.